This is P.O.C. This is the impossible light activity. My shadow, multiple shadows appearing upright. License 8GEN638 is gang stalking in the parking lot right now. This is 3 shadows of my hand upright through what is again very hazy. There's no sun. Okay, you know that this isn't the natural sun, and you know that that's stalking in the path. License 6GEN638, gang stalking with RGS impunity. Again, all of those that are gang stalking that are immigrants are going to be deported. They're going to federal prison. RGS employees and the company RGS is going to be civilly and criminally prosecuted. They're monitoring on their communication devices under the fake sun and in engineered light. It is directly tethered to this impossible light activity that's occurring upright inside of an apartment, defying the natural environment. That's the malice where an entity is practicing stalking as a massive and severely egregious sex offense. That's what RGS is engaged in, a sex offense, and RGS is profiting while they're practicing sexual violence. Coming onto the grounds, gang stalking with the demons in units 33 through 64, the Latina female with the gray head, she's crossing path while engineered light is appearing on this patio. Okay, this is again, you see my shadow appearing way over here? That's impossible light activity. That's stalking. Okay, they were stalking under the fake sun at 11 o'clock in the morning yesterday, and they're gang stalking, monitoring my genitalia now, grabbing their landscaping tools. It's called crossing path and ongoing impunity. That's why RGS is going to be prosecuted, and companies like AVANATH, criminally facilitating sexual violence, gang stalking a woman. This is in violation of the Violence Against Women Act. This is removing all of the entity that's living in all 144 units, as they're going to be prosecuted for violence against women violations, and doing so repeatedly and ongoing as an ongoing system, refusing to cease to do so as the one that they're gang stalking is documenting it. That's speaking to the violence that of the sex offense. Okay, this is the environment where the city of Ontario is going to arrive again today, like I documented them already, gang stalking in the fake sun, which puts those City of Ontario employees in prison. All right, the entity that was documented, you're looking at this engineered light appear more and more while a demon is simultaneously crossing path. This is what Uber Eats was engaged in under this fake sun. This is what the demon in unit number 42 was engaged in under this fake sun at 11:40 a.m. That's over the same building. This light activity has nothing to do with sunlight. The engineered light and the fake sun documentation is speaking to what is a pattern of conduct of stalking, using the RGS vehicles, stalking in the path. This is in furtherance of murder and kidnapping. All right, and this is a federal offense of a sexual nature as well. And they are monitoring evidence while they're committing that ongoing sex offense of gang stalking. You are engaged in no lawful employment, no legitimate business, while the federal system of federal group stalking monitoring is underway. You're looking at what is a disappearance rapidly of the engineered light. It coincides with the movement of a vehicle and the vehicle lights. And this is again where the fake sun is. You already know that the fake sun is here, but it's not an explanation for the impossible light activity. You also are paying attention to the impossibility with regard to the maintenance of the fake sun. You're understanding the illusion of the system. The engineered light is supposed to be sunlight, and then you're also looking at what's supposed to be the sun, even though it stays over this building for over 9 hours, and everything that's happening in this environment is pursuant to a system of stalking. Everybody that's living where you're stalking in order to secretly target somebody in order to murder and kidnap them, they're going to prison. All right, and this is the elderly community gang stalking in the state of California at Woodside Senior Apartments, where there's no sun that would ever create any sunlight like you see at a distance, brightening and getting dimmer, simultaneous with the crossing of path of a corrupt company, RGS, that's a sex offender of a Latino descent. I just want to be clear with regard to identification. They're acting with impunity because they know what I documented about them yesterday. They know what I documented them about every single day, and they continuously engage in what is federal group stalking and monitoring, not a lawful contract for landscaping with AVANATH. It's criminal facilitation. That's why Daryl J. Carter and the executives of AVANATH Capital Management are also going to be prosecuted. 8GEN638 is engaged in criminal surveillance, gang stalking, monitoring all of this right now. They're maintaining presence in the path. And you know that because at 8 o'clock in the morning when I documented this same demon, while engineered light moved, swept across the ceiling, just like the ILA I showed you yesterday and the day before that, this is what's ongoing while that fake sun remained over me as I walked to that end of the parking lot. Okay, that's the pattern of conduct. All right, and while I move my engineered light is a method of surveillance. That's why it's inside of Tracy Banks' apartment, okay? Identifying sex offenders and stalkers. All right, this is again not the sun, but what you will pay attention to, the fake sun is here at 7:31 in the morning, and you know the fake sun is still here after 4:30 in the evening, where RGS is gang stalking as a means of profiting off of federal group stalking and monitoring. That's speaking to what is prosecuting civilly and criminally. And those that are gang stalking as employees are subject to federal prison. This is what the city of Ontario is relying on the population to engage in, okay? It is, again, this engineered light is what you're paying attention to. It is the recognition of the specific environment. There's no constitutional protected rights under any circumstances by the entity that's engaged in surveilling an American citizen, and they're doing so with the Ontario International Airport. While engineered light just appears out of nowhere, That's where the entity is gang stalking in planes. Okay, and it's amplified in volume. GEN 638. This is federal stalking. And this is, by the way, a pattern. This is federal prison right here. 8 GEN 638. This is P.O.C. License 7N98091 is RGS. Acting with impunity, gang stalking, that's terrorism via commercial planes, using their vehicle doors as a means of audible activity, walking around, everything they're doing is engaged in the elements of monitoring, while you're seeing my hand show up at a distance in front of me, underneath a covered patio, under a fake sun that's here at 7:30 and remains after 4:30. The demons on Vine Avenue are gang stalking in traffic, and this is openly engaging in what is impunity and malice, gang stalking an American citizen, terrorizing an American citizen in their face, because that's what 8 GEN 638 is engaging in. And they're all sex offenders worshiping my genitalia as a community as well. All right, those that are not natural born citizens, because it's not only Latinos who are immigrating in this country, any race that's been granted the privilege to be in this country is going to be deported. Okay, it is currently 7:33 a.m. This is the criminal act of AVANATH Capital Management. It's a criminal act of Linda Reyes and all the employees at Woodside, because they're all going to prison. All right, and AVANATH Capital Management is criminally facilitating domestic terrorism, doing so while profiting. This is not the legitimate engagement. All of this is activity creation while an ongoing program of psychological torture remains underway. The fake sun that remains over this edge of the building at 8 o'clock in the morning is not the sun. While you're looking at what is not sunlight, that's remaining in a position, that's never the explanation for what was my shadow appearing. That's speaking to light, by the way, that's shooting like a laser, not coming from the sun. And you also know that it's not the sun because it's still here over this same exact building at 11 o'clock, 12, 1, 2, 3, after 4 o'clock in the evening, in perfect alignment with me, by the way, over the same patio, coating the same patio door, where your shadow is never creating multiple shadows. This is speaking to the malice. This is malice of AVANATH Capital Management. It's employees that live at the venue in unit number 41, the population, the city of Ontario, the local government, Paul Leon, that's gang stalking, and his entire office, the city of Ontario International Airport that's going to be shut down, the Ontario Police Department that's going to be disbanded, and all those in units 33 through 64 who are going to federal prison, irrespective of how old you are, their old selves are going to prison. This is in furtherance of murdering and kidnapping American citizens, and you see they practice it with impunity. This impossible light activity that's appearing and disappearing that I documented, impunity. Arriving on a daily basis to commit the simultaneous federal offense of gang stalking, impunity. All right, that's P.O.C. This is what Tracy Banks was engaging in while she was pacing in and out of the living room, and I showed you impossible light activity. All right, the entity arriving earlier with the fake sun, and I put arriving, but this is documentation that the entity engages in because it knows what I document. It does not ever make the fake sun documentation consistent when it is remaining a fake sun that is nonetheless documented at an earlier hour. If you'll recall what I documented in fall of 2024, the fake sun rises right here at 7:18. All right, so you're talking about what is this ongoing movement on either side while the entity is stalking in plain sight. All right, those that are not natural born, again, departing in order to maintain presence, simultaneously exiting light vehicle lights, walking in engineered light. Those are the ones that are going to prison. And those are the ones also that are worthy of being deported if they're not natural born citizens. They actually hate this country, walking in engineered light, living under a fake sun, in furtherance of murdering and kidnapping someone, and acting with his gang stalking mama or grandma. 8 GEN 638, that's simultaneous conduct. Driving out this way, light activity, walking past this way under the fake sun, and an engineered light that disappears. This is very demonic, what I'm showing you. This demonic system is designed to and intended to psychologically torture somebody, and the entity is doing so against a federal prosecutor in the face of federal law that they are aware of because they're monitoring all the evidence as well. RGS is doing nothing but pacing, opening and closing doors. They're doing so in engineered light that's appearing and disappearing, just like you see around me. They're monitoring. Okay, if any of those Latino males are not natural born, you're going to happily deport them. Okay, the company RGS is being prosecuted. It's headquartered in Anaheim, California as well. It is currently 7:36 a.m. This is a sex offense that's underway, a sex offense committed by a community. And the demon in Unit 55 is awake. She's not sleeping while the community comes onto the grounds to engage in that POC. The entity, I just want you to see up close. Here it is, impossible light activity. All right, you have what is multiple shadows of my hand upright while the door is at a distance away. That's not natural light activity, nor is it like you saw outside. That's speaking of stalking, okay? Stalking by the state. This is where the city of Ontario is scheduled to arrive today. That's to engage in federal group stalking and monitoring in person. All right, and the city that's acting directly is subject to federal prison. They're criminally facilitating public corruption. They are monitoring evidence. The city of Ontario knows exactly who I am, knows exactly what it is that I've documented, and they are fully engaged in criminal activity with AVANATH Capital Management, maintaining real estate in the city of Ontario, practicing federal group stalking and monitoring as a means of corrupt business, and facilitating the pattern of conduct while demons that are strangers are walking by the engineered light to monitor me and monitor my devices in violation of existing federal. There are also strangers that monitor my genitalia, knowing when my panties are down, knowing what I'm doing in a private space. That's the sexual violence that the demon possessed don't want you to know about while they're stalking him. Recall, this is what the AVANATH Capital Management employee in unit number 41 was doing while I'm documenting video under that fake sun at what is 4:56 p.m. yesterday. This is where the fake sun is still remaining. Or excuse me, 3:56 p.m. It was at the end of the day where the fake sun is remaining right over here, over me nonetheless. This is where the fake sun is at 3:30 in the afternoon. That's identifying stalkers, okay? These stalkers that are maliciously targeting, they're going to prison in units 33 through 64. So let me communicate that again. I'm speaking to legislating federal group stalking monitoring. They're going to prison. So is Linda Reyes. So are all the employees at AVANATH. So are the demons that are gang stalking under the commercial means such as RGS, whose license plates and employee identifications. The demons are going to produce themselves because they're going to prison. All right, literally their business records become criminal admissions against them in court for conspiring to murder and kidnap someone in concert with the state, doing so in the environment that defies nature, that is for the malicious engagement and a whole demonic, satanic operation that the government practices, and it's gang stalking. It's federal group stalking and monitoring, where federal stalking is underway by the entity that is targeting one, and now they're targeting somebody that's documenting in order to prosecute, and that's speaking to impunity and malice and severe mental instability, which is no longer closeted. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is what Tracy Banks was doing when she's waking me up. That's the state that's waking me up in this apartment. Me taking a picture of her in the living room is criminal presence by the state that has no warrant or probable cause. This demon is so obsessed with trying to inflict harms to me, she is exposing herself to more and more federal time. She's never getting out of a mental asylum. But the people of the state that are gang stalking, like you see here, with impunity, all those demons know that they're in engineered light. They know what I'm saying. They know what I'm documenting. I am the actual focus, and you're aware of that because of the supernatural character of this environment. So now they look like psychopaths when they're not talking to you, not addressing you, and everybody's looking like poor actors on a stage, and I'm showing you everything that they're doing. That level of malice requires federal prison. That level of impunity requires federal prison. That's RGS, that's AVANATH Capital Management, that's AVANATH Capital Management's employees that are going to prison. The demons in units 33 through 64 are going to federal prison, and these are the demon possessed that are living amongst engineered light, that are using the demonic in order to torture, psychologically torture and target an American citizen who ordinarily doesn't have the evidence and the facts and the wherewithal to even maintain the ability to analyze, like I'm showing you, and break down, and also seek to legislate and prosecute. This is designed to break the ordinary mindset of an ordinary person, because I'm normal. But you're talking about what is extraordinary regarding what I've exposed and speaking to how you prosecute it, and I understand that. I'm advocating on behalf of the ordinary person that doesn't have this ability to do so, and they are fully entitled to justice under the law and laws that shall come into existence. All right, this is a sex offense because this is evidence that they're monitoring my genitalia between my legs, and I never consented to any male or female, nor incestuous sex offender like Tracy Banks and her son Eric Spencer. None of them have any consent, and that's exactly what the state of California is engaged in, and it's an illegitimate interest. What's between my legs and what's going on inside of a private space. It is the P.O.C. where the entire population that is engaged in federal group stalking and monitoring is an exposed sex offender. They're married, they're dating other people, they're engaged in what is living a life of what is a secret system of surveillance, and this is what the city of Ontario is exposed. While the exclusivity of the sun remains over one apartment building, the entire city is gang stalking. That's what you're deducing from the demonic methods that are clearly identified in tangible evidence prosecuting all of these demons. AGEN 638, that's a bound to federal prison. And he is going to federal prison. Both of them are, because they live in units 33 through 64. They're going to prison. All right? They're doing so with impunity while the entity flies over by aircraft. That airport's being shut down. They are a threat to national security. Demon-possessed psychopaths are flying commercial planes and government planes engaged in gang stalking. Those are the same ones that are murdering American citizens, flying into skyscrapers, flying into buildings and bodies of water, murdering people, not having accidents. flying into each other inside in the airspace. They're murdering people when they're engaged in acts of domestic terrorism, not accidents. All right, it is currently, again, 7:41 a.m. This is removing the sex offender. All right, this closeted demon, Paul Leon, and it's shutting down all the corrupt departments that I've already heavily documented, gang stalking me, and contact with the population who are the people of the state. It is, again, 7:42 a.m. This is P.O.C.